Welcome to the Door County Podcast. Thanks for pushing play. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome into the Destination Sturgeon Bay Door County Podcast Studio. How's everybody doing? What's your next adventure, Door County? Well, we got a couple updates for you before we get into a great, awesome interview for this episode. The first update is you might not have heard the podcast for a little bit, but I don't know. To make a long story short, I had a procedure done on my tongue. I had little part of it cut off and biopsied. I did have tongue cancer in 2023, and this spot showed back up, and I did get the results. It is not cancerous. Just so everybody knows, I really usually don't like sharing that kind of stuff, but that is the reason that it's been a couple weeks since I have put an episode out. So now that that is out of the way, let's move on to some more exciting information as well. If you didn't see my video on Facebook, I do have now a drone, and I will be offering drone footage services for local businesses. If you want like a aerial shot or a tour, a virtual tour of your business, we can do that. I do have to schedule my FAA. It's called the Part 107 test. It's a test you have to take, and then the FAA sends you a card making you certified to fly a drone under a certain weight, which is 250 grams. So that is coming. Have a lot of interest in this, and I am really happy about it because I love flying the thing. There is a little test you can take right away that's free, just so you're supposed to take it just so you can operate the drone, and you can operate recreational without having the FAA license. You just cannot make any money with it. Of course, there's a loophole after a loophole after a loophole. So that is in the works. I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to keep that a part of the Door County podcast or if I'm going to make it its own business with a name. I think that might be what I'm going to do. Kind of already have a logo in mind and a name in mind. And what do you guys think? Peninsula Recon drone service. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But anyway, just wanted to let everybody know that and what has been going on and why you haven't heard anything in a little while. And that is why. Now we're back full swing. Our office is coming around nicely inside the Destination Sturgeon Bay office. And soon we will be conducting interviews there. You get to sit in up to 3 people, including me, so 4, in some comfortable chairs, just sitting there and a microphone. We're going to have a refrigerator in there and some signage up on the walls and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be awesome and be a lot more comfortable. Because what I really want to do with this is some long-form conversations. There's a lot of long-form podcasts out there, but this is specific to Door County. So if a business owner comes in and would like to just talk, it doesn't even have to be about their business right away, just wants to talk and tell stories and then jump into their business, we can do that. It's a long form. You're not rushed in a live. Even though lives are nice, we might do some of that too, because that's good, quick info if you're running a sale or a special or something to get out to the public. But I want to give people the option to do some long form stuff as well, because it's more of a nice conversation. And what's nice with the podcast and YouTube is people can go back and listen and play it anytime. The business can reuse it if they want. So that's some of the goals that I have and some of the things that have been going on, in case anybody is wondering. But the Door County Fair is right around the corner, and it sounds like there are some exciting new things coming along with it. Lots of entertainment every night. A new carnival is involved, so things are going to look different. They're bringing back some old faces, and I'm not going to go into too much, but I had the chance to sit down with Hilary and Tom Ash, and let's just jump right into that interview. It's a good one. Welcome in this week on the Door County Podcast. I am joined by Hilary and Tom from the Door County Fair Board. How's it going, guys?
Good.
This is going to be an exciting episode. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, I feel like, especially for people that don't visit the fair often or have never been there if you're listening out of state. Why don't you guys just take it away with starting point of where you can find the information about the fair, get tickets, buttons, wristbands, whatever it is. Then we can just roll into all the exciting events and entertainment.
Okay, yeah. So I would say for the most up-to-date information, checking us out on Facebook is probably your best bet. But for any detailed specific information, visiting our website, www.doorcountyfair.com, is definitely your best bet. You can buy admission right now, weekly pass for $27. That gets you in 5 days to the fair, everything included. That's your midway attractions, your grandstand, all the animal shows, the music stage, all of that is included within that price of $27. That $27 is only good through July 26th. July 26th, then it switches over to the $30 fee for the week, and then our daily fee of $12 will be available at the gates. But that's the best way to find the information in the most current avenue.
So it's definitely beneficial if you're going to go every day, go get the pass
For
ahead
sure.
of time, because that's pretty cheap for almost a week of entertainment. So.
Yeah, I mean, you do the math and you divide it by the 5 days. I mean, it's not even, $6 a day or whatever. And like I said, almost everything is included. Obviously, your food and your games. There's some pony rides that cost extra, but there's a few little things that are new. Always, most everything is included with that entry fee. So for $6, where can you go get that kind of entertainment?
Not anywhere anymore. You can't even go get a value meal at
You're right.
big box store down the road for that anymore. There's a lot to do at the fair. Like I said, me and my kids, we go every year, at least 2 days, and then like their mom will take them the other couple days. There's so much to do, even without spending money. Like I could spend part of a day just walking and looking at the livestock, but that's me. I grew up on a farm. Maybe not everybody likes that, but if you're from out of town and don't get to see animals every day, and you live in a big city, and then is there duck races, or is it pig races?
Pig and duck races. Yep.
Those are pretty cool. The kids love that. Why don't you guys just start out with just start talking about the entertainment and what's all there, any new rides.
Yep.
And then we can't forget about the grandstands, the races, the demolition derby. I mean, it's awesome.
This year, we are having a new carnival this year to the fair. We had some contractual issues with our past carnival, and so we had to go searching for a carnival right after our fair was over, or actually during our fair last year, we were actually searching for that carnival. And so we do have, the carnival's name is Badgerland Midways. They bring back a lot of the nostalgic type rides, like the Tilt-A-Whirl. You haven't seen one of them at the Door County Fair in years, right?
Right.
They got one of those. The Rocco Plane and some of these and other type of nostalgic type rides that people would always look for, That's going to be a little bit exciting. They are going to be different. Don't expect the same old carnival that we've had for the last few years, and we hope that they'll put on a good show. You talked about a lot of our midway attractions that are for free, right? So you hit it, the pig and duck races. So we're bringing back the Pleasure Valley pig and duck race guy. That was the original pig and duck guy that we had. The other guy was good. He bought part of Larry's show, but Larry coming back is quite the character and quite the performer, as you can imagine. We're excited to have him back this year. We also have Cody Lice, Door County Chainsaw Carvings. Every year he carves 2-3 carvings, and then we raffle them off at the end of the fair.
That's going to be awesome.
Yep, him and his wife Ashley really do a great job for us, and a lot of people put their names in the bucket to win his carvings. So it's a great deal that we got going with Cody as well. Then new to the Midway this year, we have a couple new attractions. That one is called the Dominguez Family Entertainment, and what they do is more of like I would relate it more to circus type acts. They have the motorcycle in the cage, and they have dogs jumping through fire rings and all kinds of that kind of entertainment. And they really put on a cool show. And their night show, when they light up their stage and everything, the lights, it's just a really neat thing to see. So if you were going to pick one thing at close to dusk, that would be a big thing to go take a look at.
The motorcycle in the cage just brought me back to my childhood. I remember the circus used to come to Green Bay.
Yep.
I mean, long time ago. In the Brown County Arena, I believe it was. And that's the only reason I wanted to go. To see the motorcycles in the cage. Wonder how they, so that's a really cool attraction to have back.
Yeah. Yeah, and then lastly, a new thing on the Midway, and these shows happen sporadically throughout the days, but the last thing is Jurassic Kingdom. So it's a dinosaur experience where your kids and adults can be interactive with this dinosaur show. So it's kind of a cool show to have as well.
That sounds pretty cool too, because they do something like that in Green. It sounds like you're bringing everything into one place for a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, we really do try to mix things up. You know, we've had dock dogs for a few years, and some things just get stale, right? So you just got to mix things in. And, you know, with our budget, we can't afford to have them all the stuff there. But, you know, we try to pick some new things and some old things. You know, I know the wrestlers, every time we have them, it's a hit, right? I mean, the people are standing there cheering and laughing.
I've been a wrestling fan since the 80s.
Yep.
And it's always fun to go watch them guys and the actual hard work that they put in to do that. I'll let you believe what you want about real, fake. I mean, I think we already know now. It's a lot of hard work, and some of that stuff actually does hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, we mix those things in too. So, I mean, there is a lot of different things that we try to. And if people out there have any ideas for us as the Fair Board members, just shoot us a message and we will certainly explore any kind of new entertainment that we can mix in. Yeah.
I have a question. So for the carnival, that's the new one coming, is there anything that's updated? Like you were talking about the tilt-a-whirl. Are they more modern? Do they have newer stuff, or is it just the same type but different?
I would say same type but different. I wouldn't say it's more modern. The Ferris wheel is not the big Ferris wheel that they have. It's got the baskets look like balloons. It's a little different, maybe a little smaller than last year's Ferris wheel, but they have a Ferris wheel, right? Some of the rides, you know, they're just refurbished. They look new. They're clean. Their workers are clean. You know, these rides last forever as long as they're well maintained.
Yep.
So, you know, is there a big modern ride to this carnival? No, there's not. You know, and there's not a lot of carnivals out there that can do this kind of work in the state of Wisconsin. So it's not like we can go out and hire the most modern carnival possible. It just ain't going to fit our budget.
Right. No, you answered the question. It's going to be, things are going to look new. You know, what you said with the balloons on the Ferris wheel. So that's going to be exciting. People are going to walk in there and it's be like, you know, look at this. It's not going to look, it's going to look new.
Yeah.
And I like that sometimes. Like you said, Tom, you need that sometimes. And
yeah. And I would liken it to some of the rides are similar to what you see at Bay Beach. Those older style or nostalgic style rides is probably half of their rides, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's exciting to have the Scrambler back. That's always a favorite. I mean, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that you guys had to find something new, and at least it sounds like you had a lot of time to do it. Like right after?
I don't know that I would say a lot of time.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, we actually, I took off the very following week and drove out to the farthest westerly point that I could go to meet this carnival to sign the contract in the state of Wisconsin. Yeah, because the carnival really hinges a lot of when the fair happens, right? So there was a big deal about us sliding back, and we interfere with the Thrashery and some other things that happened in Door County. The good news is this is last year we're going to interfere with that, you know. So the new contract slides us back that week forward going into next season, which is where we historically have been. I thank the Thrashery and everybody for not panicking that the big bad wolf of Door County Fair took their week, but you know we're not trying to fall on somebody else's week. It's just the carnival is so. If you could imagine the Door County Fair without a carnival, and a lot of people don't think the fair is the carnival, right? But there's a good share of our fairgoers that want to see that carnival and have the entertainment, and there's also a good share that want to go walk through the barns and look at the exhibits. So it's just you need the whole thing, the whole package to put on a fair. And the downside is because there's not a lot of vendors out there that do carnival rides, they kind of dictate when the fair is going to happen.
Well, if this means anything to you, we have to see when the fair is every year because we go to Wisconsin Dells every year, and they don't want to miss the fair to go to Wisconsin Dells. So you guys are doing something right every year because they would get so mad if we had to miss the fair. But yet they want to go to Wisconsin Dells. So you guys are doing something right every year.
Well, we have the dates set for the next 4 years. We don't necessarily have them with us today, but
that's okay.
It is set now long term. We have a 5-year contract with this carnival.
That's awesome. What's the entertainment like going to be on the Midway this year? Bands, anything new, exciting? Everybody loves to get out there and dance. And any new food? Or is it like the same food vendors? I think we should let people know about like some of the bands and stuff because that's always a big hit.
Yeah, we're really excited actually about the bands this year. It's we brought back some older bands that the people in Door County wanted to hear. Kicking off the fair on Wednesday evening is the Glam Band. That is going to be a great show to kick off the fair and get things started. Then on Thursday, we were lucky enough to set a contract with Genevieve Hayward from American Idol. So she's going to be the opening act at
6 o'clock.
Oh, at 6 o'clock. Casey Johns, she's a Nashville recording artist that was at our fair last year. They had a lot of technical difficulties in their show last year with the races that were going on. So she offered to come back at a lower price for us and put on a better show than what she did.
Well, that was nice of her.
Yeah. So those two are going to be two pretty dynamic singers happening that evening on Thursday night. Friday night, then we kick off the evening with Glass Hammer, the local band.
Everybody knows Glass Hammer.
Yep. And they are opening up for Boogie and the Yo-Yos is back this year. So there's a lot of people excited that we could get them back and on a weekend night as well. Saturday, what we did new this year is we actually went with 3 bands. So we're going to have music almost all day Saturday. So I think at
12:30
12:30 is the first band.
Yep.
That band is Warden. Then at 4:30 is Fire on High. And that evening then is Madison County, which was just an awesome modern country rock type band that just put on a heck of a show last year for us.
So if you pay attention, there's kind of something for everybody.
Yeah.
That last one you just said piqued my interest. I love that the modern rock country kind of mix. I know a lot of old school people are not always a fan of when you take country and turn it into something, but I love that when it's like a little
and they'll
mix.
play the old stuff too, and they just do an awesome show. So a lot of these bands that we have this year are just great performers. I mean, they bring a lot of excitement to the crowd and play some great songs. And then 2 more bands on Sunday. We're starting out with
Spark Spark Bang
Spark.
at 11:30, and then vice versa at 2:30.
So you can come every day and have some beers or soda or whatever you want and just watch the bands.
Yeah.
If you really, if your kids are a little older, you can let them run if you trust them. And that was one other thing too. There's always a lot of like officers walking around. If something happens, there's somebody nearby.
Absolutely.
Almost always. That's one thing I noticed. It felt, if you feel safe there with all the officers walking around, all they got to do is scream or something, you know, and within seconds, somebody's going to be there. So that's always good to see. Just like when they hang around the schools here during the school year, you always see a cop or officer driving around the schools. So it's pretty safe there. And I wanted to let people know that because we go every year.
Yep.
And, sometimes fairs, not around here, can get a bad reputation. But here, everybody is like, and with it being a smaller town, everybody's always looking out for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
I think that's the benefit of it being a small town county fair.
Yep.
Is that there's so many people that know each other and know their kids and know this person, that person, that you really have that sense of community at the fair. And I mean, as far as, security, the whole board is in blue shirts like that the entire time that we're there and working. So, I mean, find a blue shirt person, find an officer, they'll be able to, help you with something.
Yeah, and everybody knows everybody. So, I mean, I've even had to fire up like our little guy wandered off and he didn't go super far, but couldn't find him and all the people. And all of a sudden, we knew a couple people there. We had like a 6 or 8 person little hunting party. And 3 minutes later, there he was. He was just in awe looking at something, but just wandered off. So
Yep.
I wanted to let people know that personally, the Door County Fair, I feel very safe with my kids there.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
that's not always the case, but I do. People pay attention. I just didn't know if that was going to get brought up, but I think it's important.
For sure.
So
Yeah, no, and if people haven't been to the fair in the last 10 years, I mean, it's really worth that trip to come to the fair because it really, at one point, a lot of people were just saying, oh, it's the same old fair, right? And we really do make our effort to make things changed, and we also did a lot of improvements on the ground. I mean, I don't know how many years ago now that it's been paved, but if you can remember back in the dusty old gravel days or people falling and on the gravel and getting scun up, well, now it's paved, it's concrete, it's grass. There's no dust and no mess.
you can roll strollers around real easy, and it's pretty impressive. It looks really nice down there.
Yep.
Yeah, I would easily say that it's probably one of the nicer fairgrounds in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, that whole John Miles County Park is
Yep.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you also still have the grandstand events that occur during the week as well. And on Thursday, we have the stock car races, and those are the traditional ones that happen. I don't know if they happen
That'd be their
weekly
normal
or...
points night.
For the
them to
hill.
race.
Yep. Hill
Yep.
Raceway.
And then Saturday, they have stock car races again, and these will feature the late models. And then followed on Sunday by the Demolition Derby, which is always a huge hit. The grandstands are always full to the max. Get there early,
Yep.
because otherwise you'll be standing.
Everybody likes to see stuff smash.
Right?
I can talk a little bit about the regular races because I did it for 10 or 12 years down there. The late models, if you don't get a chance to see them all the time, it's something to see on a third mile. Remember those track cars? You push the button and they go around on the track? That's like, they are so on the edge like that. It is insane the speed they can get on a third mile.
Yeah, and it's really cool this year. They're actually doing a $5,000 to win payout that night.
Oh, so that's going to bring up some of the big dogs.
Yep.
So some of the
Yep.
some of the heavy hitters that probably have $100,000-$200,000 in their equipment are going to be up here for that.
Yeah, and then as far as the Dirt King Series, this is their, I guess I don't know the exact, but it's like a 150th or whatever number race. So they're trying to plan a little extra bang for, I'll just call it a bang for their buck that night. And hopefully we can get that approved through the city and possibly have some fireworks and stuff prior to their feature race. So
That'd be awesome. I think the Dirt Kings, don't they bring in, like, they have like this throne
Yep.
that they have, and then the
Yep.
guy that wins the race sits on the throne. It's
Yeah, King of the Hill or
Yep.
whatever they'll call it. Yep.
yeah, that's
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yep. And then they have the Legends cars will be there as well that night. So.
Everybody loves those too because it's something different. You
Yeah.
know, they don't look like a typical stock car.
Yeah, they look like that old mini coupe
vintage
type thing. Yep. So those are really cool to see too.
Yep. So definitely, those are definitely things you don't want to miss is those races, especially if you don't get to see it all the time.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Another part of the fair that I think we kind of miss talking about frequently, but is really great, is the family festival stage that happens in the Junior Fair building. There's more kid-based but family-oriented entertainment, and that is daily from Thursday through Sunday. And there's things like spelling bees, kids contests, jugglers, magicians, all of that type of stuff happens on that stage. So if you're looking for kind of a place to get out of the heat, maybe go eat some lunch, cool down, that the kids are entertained
Yep.
and they can just kind of recharge for a bit, my kids will sit there for hours and just watch them because it's interactive, it's entertainment, they love it. It's a great asset to the fair as well.
See, and we go all the time, and I didn't really know about that. So these are the little gems I wanted you guys to bring out, along with all the major stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. I mean, every year I go. So
Yeah, and I mean, I did some of these kids contests when I was young. Like, it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been a frequent of the fair, we used to have its own tent, right? It had its own tent just down the midway, and then we had it in our merchants building for a few years inside of a stage. So it gets kind of hidden, but it really, now it's moved to our junior fair building. And besides going and having a great lunch at the 4-H stand, right, you can go and sit down and eat your meal and watch some entertainment as well throughout the day.
I got a couple questions now. So the food, when you're buying the food there, it's going towards to support an organization most of the time, right? Like you just talked about the 4-H.
Yeah.
There's the Lions Clubs usually there. I'm probably missing any, but maybe if you could just talk a little bit about it. You're not just buying food from some random vendor. You're helping
Right.
an
So,
organization.
we have
Correct.
the Forestville Maplewood Lions, so that's one of their biggest fundraisers throughout the year, and all the great things that the Lions do throughout the community. I believe they do some stuff with eyeglasses and different things for kids and community members. That's how they make their money, is through that fundraiser. So we have the Farm Bureau stand, we have AMVETS, and then the 4-H
4-H.
Club, right? So those four, when you buy food from them, you're actually helping raise money for things that happen inside of the Door County community. So it's really a great thing. I mean, Farm Bureau does great stuff. They do scholarships. They do all kinds of things with their money. The AMVETS, of course, go to support their deal. And, 4-H obviously helps run the 4-H program in Door County. So that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand, is when they talk about the fair being expensive because they got to buy their food and everything, is That's not really part of the fair. I mean, it's part of the fair, but we don't get any money from that. You know, they have a very small fee that they pay us to help pay for electrical and the utilities. But for the most part, that's just like a whole nother fundraiser for the county.
That's awesome. I was thinking about that while you guys were talking. I'm like, everybody's actually supporting a good organization with the food, and you're just talking about the people that complain about the food. I guarantee you those same people are there buying the same food because they had a couple drinks and like, give me one of the burgers, or let's go get something to eat. And then when it's over, it's like, oh, that was expensive. I'm like, oh, you were there, you were buying the food, and you enjoyed it. It saved you from your hangover or whatever if you were drinking. So and it's good. You got to have fair food at least once a year.
Absolutely.
I mean, visit all the tents.
Yeah. And you're supporting the community. I mean, the fair, we always talk about it being a family, and it's more than just the family that puts it on. It's the community as a whole as a family. It really is the one thing in this county that is community based. There's a lot of festivals, there's a lot of things to do in this county, but a lot of it is geared more towards tourists, where this is the one thing where it is geared towards local people. It's your local people, your kids, your grandparents who are bringing in exhibits, who are coming there for a week to celebrate, to reconnect, and you're supporting them because it's their organizations that they want to help further the county along. So, it's really, it comes full circle that week.
It's also really cool to see kids and even adults, but more so the kids get my heart. But when they get these ribbons, blue ribbons, or they take grand champion with their animals, like how hard they work to get that. Like I said, I grew up on a farm. I never took animals to the fair, but that was hard enough. And now you're trying to train them to do whatever and make them look perfect. I can't imagine the feeling that they get when it's like your grand champion or even blue ribbon or whatever the different stages are, even to get a ribbon. And then that just has to be awesome. And it's really cool to see. They're there every day working with them animals.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, my family and Hilary's family as well did some exhibiting at the fair, and my family has been exhibiting at the fair. I know I have been from 9 to 18, and then from then on, I was always helping at the fair or on the fair board or whatever. And it's amazing the amount of work that their kids, my kids have all exhibited, and now this is the first year. There probably hasn't been an Ash family member exhibiting in the Door County Fair with animals in a long time, right? So
you still got a little time.
Yeah. So my kids, say it took steers, right? So that started a year in advance when you're trying to learn teach those animals to lead and follow you. There's a lot of people that do a lot of hard work with these. So come out and support these kids. And you do hear people, right, when they come in, well, I just want to go see the animals, right? Well, again, we talked about it before, is that we have to have both sides of the spectrum support each other, right?
Yep.
So the people that want to go on rides and don't care about the animals have to help support the families that want to come and just look at the animals and look at the exhibits and don't care about the rides. So, that's why we try to keep the cost of the fair as economically as we can, so that if you are coming just to see the animals, that's great, and you should get your money's worth to do that. So, I mean, that's one thing that we probably should go over, and there's a lot of great things with animals that happen there as well. I'm sure Hilary could go over the
horse and pony show.
We got the drill team show right on Saturday. There's
Wisconsin.
A whole bunch of teams from all over the state that come here for that.
The confidence and the life skills that the kids gain from being exhibitors at the fair. In my role, the fair is two separate fairs. There's, your adult, your open class fair, and your junior fair. In junior fair, judging happens face to face, whereas the open class is closed judging, essentially. Those kids having to go and talk to an adult and be the professional and the knowledgeable person about whatever their project is, whether it's animals, whether it's an art project or baking. They're learning life skills with that, interview skills. And there's, like you said, there's a ton of work that goes into every project that comes to the fair. I think last year we had almost 5,000 entries into the fair between open class and junior fair. So there's a ton to see, ton of effort put into those things.
And I think they're learning too. I mean, there's too many participation trophies in this world. These kids, they're going in front of judges. Mm-hmm. There's usually one winner. And then they have to sit and look. They put all this work in. Well, why didn't I win? And it's like, what did they do? Why did they get that win? You know, sometimes maybe it's the animal's fault. It didn't follow directions or something. But I think it's good. Those kids are gonna be strong in life. Like, they're gonna be able to put up with adversity more than some other ones that, you know, don't get to live in the country. And I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
and just
yell at me if you want. But.
No, you're 100% right. And just to circle back a little bit about when we talked about the cost of the fair, well, if you want to get a really good deal, enter something in the fair.
Yeah.
The deadline is July 16th, and you can put school artwork in. You can put vegetables from your garden, flowers from your garden.
Big
There's
goods,
just
Legos. We already have 28 entries for Legos this year.
Nice.
woodworking projects, you name it. I mean, photography. You could literally start your fair project right now,
Yep.
enter it, and have it ready for the fair.
Yep.
So, I mean, you want to get in, junior fair exhibitors, kids,
Free.
you're free. You get 5
whole
days
week.
of the fair, rides, races, everything
awesome.
for free. You just got to enter something.
I have a chipmunk in the backyard that comes and takes peanuts out of my hand. Is there
If you can tame him,
Right.
we might be able to find something.
Yeah, but that is a very valid point. That entries are still you can still enter into the fair. They close July 16th, and junior fair is free. There's no fee to exhibit. You get in for the whole week. Open class does have a $20 exhibitor fee, but that also is your pass to the fair. So if you are an open class exhibitor, you don't have to pay. You don't have to buy a ticket online. So you're saving $7 or $10 there, respectively, depending on when you would buy your tickets. There really is something for everyone to
We've
exhibit
had
at the fair.
families compete baking things, bringing in baked goods. They'll compete making
yeah,
different
and
things.
who doesn't love judging and trying that out? It's like a chili cook-off. You can't go wrong. You're trying all this.
I mean, we had a local family that their whole family, all the kids, made their own recipe, and they competed against each other.
That's awesome.
Besides being in the fair, right? So there's all kinds of fun ways you can get into the fair and experience it and be part of the whole fair, exhibiting and get all the free stuff that comes along with it.
Is there any room left for vendors yet this year, or is that all full?
Nope. We do have room for vendors. We always make room. That's a lot of my task is that when it gets close to the fair, we try to figure out where everybody's going to set up their displays and where the carnival's going to set up and all that stuff. So I think the easiest way for somebody that's a vendor that wants to come promote their business or sell items would be go to the website.
Yep, go to the website, and there, if you click on vendors, there is a form that you can fill out. Goes right to our vendor relations coordinator, and that's honestly your best bet because it answers all the questions that he's going to ask you in an email anyways. So go right to the website, click on vendors and vendor form.
Yeah, and then we were talking about that too, and you mentioned earlier about the different food trucks outside of the stands that are there. I would say that you're probably going to see, I don't have the exact list yet, but probably a lot of the old faithfuls like the barbecue stands and the different
Corn.
ones, the corn stand, and there's
Oh,
usually
yeah.
4 or 5 of the other stands besides our mainstay stands as well that
You have
Or
to
selling
get
food.
corn when you go to the fair. You have to get a funnel cake, and you have to get a bucket of those French fries. I mean, I don't know what it is about them. They might be the only thing that rivals, like, everybody loves McDonald's fries, but them things, you can't beat them.
Yep.
They get, I like it. So they're crunchy, but then as you get to the bottom, they start get a little more soggy, but from the heat and stuff. But that's the best part. All the
Yeah.
grease down there.
Everybody's got their favorite fair food for sure.
Oh, yes.
What's our judging schedule, Hillary? On Wednesdays, drop-off day?
Yep. So I think a little known fact probably about the fair is that in technicality, we do have the dog show on August 1st. That goes separate from the actual fair just for simplicity of the dogs paying attention and for having room on the grounds to do it. So that happens 9 o'clock, August 1st. Then jumping to August 12th, Wednesday, that is when all of the entries come in. So if you want to see mass chaos, come and watch that. But all of the junior fair entries, they come in that day, they get judged, they get put up. Open class exhibits get brought in, they get judged then on Thursday. For animal judging, we have the horse show that happens on Thursday starting at 9 a.m. That's the pleasure show. Then the beef show is Thursday at 3 p.m. The swine show is Thursday at 6 p.m. That one is something to watch if you've never watched the pig show. It's organized chaos at best, watching all the pigs run around the ring. Friday, August 14th, we've got the dairy show. That starts at 8:30. It's very interesting to see all the families that have shown generation after generation. And there's a lot of history in this county with the dairy community. Also at 9 o'clock, we have the rabbit show. And then that night, Friday night, we have the goat and sheep show at 6 p.m. And then last is the poultry show on Saturday morning. And then right after that wraps up, you have that night the quality meat animal sale auction at 6 o'clock, I believe.
Yep.
That happens over in the beef barn. And then kind of one of the more fun aspects for shows is the Gymkhana. The horse games per se. That's kind of the more like barrel type things,
like,
key races. It's more speed and accuracy versus, prancing around perfectly. And that's Sunday morning at 10.
Awesome.
And a couple more going off of that, just things to see. On Friday night, the drill team competition, our Door County teams put on an exhibition that evening.
Yep.
I think is at 6 or 7?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock that evening. And then that's kind of a preview of their big show where, again, there's teams from La Crosse and all over the state of Wisconsin that come, and that starts at noon on Saturday. If you've never seen a drill team competition, again, it's a group of riders riding to music, and it's all choreographed, and it's really a neat thing to watch as well.
It is, and again, it goes back because some of them are young. They're like young kids. Yeah. I know this because, not trying to plug myself, but I do their T-shirts.
Yep.
So I'm looking at some of these sizes. I'm like, I wonder if this is somebody who's going to be on a horse or not, because it's like youth medium. And if they can control, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome to go see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's really stuff to do. You like you said earlier. If you want to go to the fair every day, you will have something that should not be bored. There is something new, something different, some kind of everything going on all the time.
Corn pit will be back. I don't know if that's good or bad for, people depending. But the kids definitely loved that last year. They loved digging in it. And
looking for prizes in the
looking
corn.
for all the prizes, yep.
I think we almost covered everything. Is there anything else you guys want to go over? Has to do with the fair? We have the Midway. We have the new carnival. Some new looking rides. Everything's going to kind of look new. All the delicious food and the wrestling and the beer tent.
No wrestlers this year, but
okay.
That was a show that took its turn off, right? But again, it was just an example of shows that we try to bring in.
Is that little area, it used to be by the wrestlers, that's kind of just some little kid rides? Is there going to be something still like that? You know what I'm talking about over there?
Yep. So this year, I think the layout will be a little bit different because of some of the size of the shows that we put in, like Dominguez Brother Entertainment and the Dinosaur. They take big footprints. They're a big show. So kind of where that kiddie ride area was in the last few years, that's going to be where the Dinosaur, I'm thinking early on in my layout in my brain, I think is where the Dinosaur show is going to be. Majority of the rides will be back on the Midway. Will he try to separate kids rides versus older kids rides? I'm sure they will, so that parents can kind of sit and watch, right, and not feel like they have to be standing right close to all their kids all the time. Again, because we talked about how safe the fair is, you're able to sit on a bench on the side and watch your kids ride, right? So
you can. If you sit in the right place, you can kind of see them for a little while. Put them in I always try to put my kids in like a safety yellow or orange shirt.
Yes, so the neons.
Or I'll wear something bright so they can find me.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys don't have anything else, I already know I'm missing stuff in my head. We got motorcycles and cages. We got horse shows. We have duck shows. We have pig shows. We have all kinds of good food. A lot of games. Races on Thursday, Saturday. Demolition Derby Sunday.
Great music every day.
Great music every day, no matter what kind you like. Just go look on the website, which they'll tell you about in a second again. And just go to the fair. Let's hope for good weather.
Yes.
If it wants to rain, it can start at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, well, that's one thing to remember. A lot of people, if it rains in the early evening, they just like, let's not go to the fair. Again, we're paved, so there's no mud,
Yeah,
right?
that's
and
awesome.
Our bands are underneath a pavilion now, a great
Yep, that's
pavilion
new.
that was built last year. This will be the second year that we've had that has drop-down curtains to protect the bands, and you can be under the roof listening to the music. So rain or shine, the fair goes on.
Bring your umbrella. You can still watch the music.
Yep, I'll stand under the pavilion.
Well, let's tell everybody again the website and where they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. Visit us on Facebook or visit us at www.doorcountyfair.com.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys taking this time to come in. I know you're probably busier than heck. We're going to push this out and hope everybody hears it. And then, again, we'll see you all at the fair. Well, there you go, Door County. I think I found your next adventure. The Door County Fair is right around the corner. I really did not expect that interview to be that long. Hilary and Tom are extremely busy, especially this time of year, so I greatly appreciate them taking the time. I know they're doing it to get information out, but that's what we want to do here. Let's get that out. It sounds like some exciting new things this year at the fair, like we said, including the new carnival. Interesting to see what that looks like, if there's going to be any kind of new rides. The motorcycles and cages sounds freaking awesome. And then, it sounds like they're bringing back some old faces with the pig and duck race, and that sounds awesome. And then the entertainment every single day and night with the bands, and then the racing and the grandstands and the demolition derby on Sunday. It is going to be awesome. I think it's definitely going to be worth the price of admission. And you also heard of a couple different ways that you could get in for free. Just go register a painting or a picture or something like that to be in the fair, and then that child gets in. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. So again, thank you to Tom and Hilary for taking the time and doing this interview. I hope you all got something out of it, and make sure that we see you at the fair. Now let's move on to a little bit more business here. If you would like to get on the show, if you have a business would like to get on for an interview, it's doorcountypod@gmail.com. Send us an interview. Otherwise, go find us on the Facebook page. And we're just trying to help out here. We do have services. There's ads available. You can run ads during this podcast. We are picking up steam, getting a lot of feedback. A lot of people love it. That's why it sucked. I was so mad when I had to have that procedure, but it kind of came out of nowhere. And it looks like, you're not doing anything. And is the podcast going away? No. It was really hard to talk. It still is at this point right now, but everything is healing up good. Some ibuprofen, take the swelling down, and should be good to go. So reach out to the show. Send us an email. If you have some stories, if you have somebody that you think would be a very interesting interview that knows even a lot about Door County, whether they have a business or not, just been around here for a long time and has a lot of good stories, I think that would be interesting as well. We also might be taking deeper dives into like cities and communities by themselves as like a whole episode, maybe a YouTube feature once we get the FAA license, doing some drone footage and some little mini documentaries maybe on each area, Bailey's Harbor, Fish Creek, Sturgeon Bay, all of them, top to bottom. Also, if you're looking for some custom-made Door County t-shirts and Sturgeon Bay design t-shirts, come down and check out KBD Apparel at the Farmers Market almost every single week, 8 a.m. to noon on 3rd Avenue, and the KBD booth is on Nebraska Street. All custom designs there, unique, good pricing, $20 for a t-shirt or 2 for $30. That turns them into $15 a piece, and it's super hard to find Door County merch in Door County that's $15 a piece. A lot of times you're seeing regular t-shirts $25. So come on down and check out KBD Apparel booth at the Sturgeon Bay Farmers Market. And you can also check out their website, which they are adding designs to the website daily. You can have them shipped to you. There's not like a ton on there now, but there's a nice little selection and some hoodies. It's kbdshopdoorcounty.com, and you can find some stuff there. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. We have some more interviews scheduled. I might just throw out a normal episode without an interview for the next one, as I am in the middle of setting up that office. and I have to get some acoustic foam yet and get all that up so there's no echo, and everything's going to be awesome in there. So again, thanks for checking out the show. Please, wherever you're listening, like, follow, subscribe. That should all be free, and that will help the show just by doing that. So here is where you can find us.
Like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss out. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Door County Pod and on YouTube at Door County Podcast. Feel free to email the show with stories, questions, or if you are a business owner and would like to see what it takes to be a part of the show, doorcountypod@gmail.com.